Hello, today I've got a review of the Blu-ray Scream 4. And it's just a basic Blu-ray packaging. And the one thing I thought was kind of annoying is Scream with a 4 instead of an A. I mean, it's kind of old. And special features on the back has 2 4s instead of A's as well. And they didn't put any quotes from any magazines or reviewers or anything on this, so it's pretty basic. And I did just get the 1-disc Blu-ray. Doesn't come with a DVD or digital copy. The cast is pretty big, and it's got some of the characters from the old movies and some of the new characters, and I'll just go over those real quick. David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Emma Roberts, Hayden, Panettiere, Rory Culkin, Adam Brody. It did have Anthony Anderson in it, but he wasn't in it very much. He had a pretty small part. So the basic story of the movie is Sydney is coming back to the town where the other Scream movies took place. It's shoot, can't think of the name. It's Woodsboro, Woodsboro, and she's, I think, on the last stop of her book tour, and she's signing autographs, whatever. And so she comes back, and I don't remember for sure if it was the anniversary or anything, but pretty much she gets there and everyone starts dying like in every other Scream movie. So that part's pretty predictable, and they kind of did it. And almost like the murders are almost like a remake of the original movie. Not that this is like a remake, but I mean, other than that, it has the 3 characters still back from the other ones. You know, there's a lot of similarities. There's like a Billy and a Sydney. You know, they had different names, but they looked kind of like them, and they, you know, you kind of seem like the same characters. And then they had at least 1 or 2 scenes that were pretty similar to the first movie. And yeah, I don't want to say too much, give it all away, but I did really like the beginning. It was pretty funny, and I think that's kind of how one thing that made this movie good is that, you know, they made a little bit fun of themselves, and some of it was a little lighthearted, but it was still, you know, like all the Screams, and I liked it. And the visuals, I think, were really good for, especially being dark a lot. You know, it's a movie that takes place mostly at night, and so, you know, they always have trouble getting clarity in the dark, and I thought it looked pretty good. I have no complaints there. And let's see, for the special features, you have deleted and extended scenes, which included 20 clips, and they're including alternate beginnings, alternate endings, deleted scenes, extended scenes, and it just felt like it went on forever. There were a couple that I think maybe would have added to the movie if they kept them in, and maybe 1 or 2 funny ones, but for the most part, I didn't think they were worth watching. They were pretty useless. So then they had a gag reel, which the gag reel I did like. I thought the gag reel was pretty good. It mostly included just like people jumping out in Scream masks, and that was most of it. And then there were some people just messing up lines. And then it had the making of Scream 4, which is, you know, your basic making of. It didn't really have anything on special effects, but it did have a lot of like how the whole cast got back together, how they decided who was going to play what, how they decided to make the movie. You know, I think they did a really good job on making it more current. You know, people were you know, more like teenagers today, more desensitized, and you know, everything of course is on a cell phone in this movie, and I thought they did a pretty good job with all that. And one thing I wanted to mention, I don't think you can see it real well on the cover, but they kind of made the mask in the picture like a knife, and you can't really see it there. If you find a picture without Scream 4 in front of it, you'll see. And so I think overall for this movie, I'm going to give it a 4 for Scream 4. But yeah, because they did a really good job for making the fourth one. Usually by the fourth one they're really bad. It wasn't like a year or two between those, so it wasn't like they're just trying to throw them out over and over and over. I think the Scream franchise has been pretty good overall, and I think this is just another good one to add to the collection. And I think anybody who likes the Scream trilogy for this one, or horror movies in general, I think will really like this one. And thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the movie.